Now for the top story tonight, the outrage at Columbia University. As we reported last night, violence broke out when members of the Minutemen who were invited to speak at the school began their presentation.
The Minutemen Project!
Police just stood by. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. With us now, Zenilman, editor of The Blue and White, a monthly magazine in Columbia, and Chris Kulawik, president of the College Republicans, who appeared last night on Hannity and Colmes and has since run into some static. What happened to you, Chris, after that appearance?
Well, there are a great number of Columbians who really felt bad about what happened last night, but we also see a lot of moral relativism with people who are saying it was the speaker's fault for antagonizing the crowd, when anyone in reality who was there could tell you that at the beginning they were chanting, they were cheering, they wore masks, they threw papers at the stage. And the second they came out with the banner, it was a signal for the rioters in the audience.
Yeah, to get up. It was well orchestrated. But when
Yes,
you came on the Fox News Channel tonight, you told a story, you were there, then you went back to campus, and what happened to you?
Well, people are trying to put the college Republicans to blame, saying...
No, what happened to you?
To me.
What happened to you? Go.
People are taking personal shots at me. I think it happens a lot on this campus. They're saying that I was trying to instigate this for bringing the Minutemen. That I didn't want to bring them because they offered something different for campus. They say I'm bringing them because I wanted to cause trouble.
All right, so you set these radicals up. Now, have they confronted you face to face, or how did you hear this?
No, sir. A lot of it's in print. A lot of it's online. A lot of it's being posted. I have not received any threats or anything personally. But it's out there, and
okay.
it's noticeable.
Now, the president of Columbia University is Lee Bollinger, who should be here this evening, not his students. But Mr. Bollinger is frightened. He did issue this statement a few hours ago, and he says that what happened last night is unacceptable. Do you agree with that? Avi?
Yes, I agree. The Minutemen should have gotten the chance to spew whatever they were spewing, and people should have responded. And that fact they didn't get the chance to finish, and that violence broke out, chaos broke out, was not a good situation for anyone, and I think it was an embarrassment for Columbia.
Why do you think it happened? See, there has to be a climate that creates things like this. What is the climate, in your opinion, at Columbia University?
Well, I actually think this can be seen really as an isolated incident in terms of kind of the breakdown in communication and conversation.
So you don't think this is the norm at your university?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Would you see that, we did an investigation of the journalism school, very well thought of around the country. Every single professor is a left-winger at journalism school. Every one. Is that fair and balanced? Is that what education should be?
I don't.
Okay. You don't know, you don't...
I don't go to the journalism school.
Okay, but I'm just giving you an example because we investigated that ourselves. But everyone thinks the same. And my point to you is, if you get a groupthink, if you get a Kool-Aid campus, which is what you have at Columbia, this is inevitable. What you saw last night is inevitable because the power is in the hands of the radical left at Columbia. Don't you understand that?
But Bill, that's just not true. Not all professors at Columbia are trying to indoctrinate students. Most of them are just trying to teach. Most students at Columbia do not want there to be chaos and protesting. Most people want to speak. There's talking, there's dialogue going on all the time. For example, I wasn't inside the Minutemen present speech when it happened. I was actually at a different event where a major in the Israeli Army Special Forces was talking about how he didn't want to serve in the occupied territories, and pro-Israel people and him were having a conversation that was completely civil.
All right, do you agree with Avi? Do you think that there's no indoctrination going on at that campus?
I think a statement like that is completely irresponsible because I've been at the school for 3 years now. And I can remember good friends, and one in particular was a former Marine, and he's also a minority. And he was walking on campus, and people went up to him and called him an ignorant minority and used different words to describe that because he had joined the Army. And the administration takes very little follow-up to this. It happens every day on campus.
All right. Now, I'm convinced it happens.
There were also homophobic statements made last year. Does that mean Columbia's a homophobic campus?
Every college has a tone. Every college has a tone. I went to Marist, Boston University, and Harvard. They all had a different feel. I am convinced, gentlemen, that there is a left-wing jihad that holds power at Columbia University. You agree with me and you do not.
I don't.
Okay, you go.
Well, for example, on May 17th, you cited a study done by a couple of economists who tabulated how much illegal immigration cost the American economy. And those economists were Columbia economists. Does that mean that their research is also part of a left-wing jihad?
No, there can be academic work done there. It's just the
and that's
flavor
what's mostly
of the
done
campus.
At Columbia.
See, I'll submit to you that this would never have happened to a left-wing speaker. The Minutemen, what happened to them would never have happened if you invited Lynn Stewart or some radical left person. They wouldn't have been shouted down by the right.
Last year, Norman Finkelstein, who is a vigorously anti-Israel writer who is...
Outside people did that, you know that.
No, but the people who were protesting and yelling were a combination of students and outside people,
Yeah,
just
it was
like last
outside
night.
people who not in campus. Now,
were you
one
at
more
Columbia
question.
then, though? There was.
No, we investigated that. We know who
there was
did
a
that.
protest there by Columbia students, and it was part of a conversation dialogue. It didn't break down into what happened last night because last night really was an isolated incident.
One more question, Chris. Do you feel safe on that campus?
I think I would like to say I have faith in my peers, but after last night, I really do question that it's a minority, and they really are a minority. The people who would
But they're fanatical minority.
They are fanatical,
and there isn't any counter to them. I don't think.
No, sir. But I do think it's cause to worry in general for our campus and any other ones in the country.
Right. You need to be careful, and I appreciate both you
There's
guys
absolutely
being here.
There's absolutely a counter to that. To any, no one wants any student attacked. Bollinger today wrote a statement that no student should be shut down.
Anybody can say they don't want it, Avi. But Bollinger should be here, not you. He's got to say it to the camera, and he's got to get his police force to protect people. They stood by and didn't, and he's got to set a tone, which he isn't.
I think he's trying to set a tone.
It is hard. That's his job. My job's hard. You got to do it. Thanks, gentlemen. In a moment, Governor Schwarzenegger encouraging Mexicans to assimilate into American society. Why is he being attacked for doing that? Up next.